Here's the thing about Rhett Walker that I don't think you have any idea of.
I'm always so scared.
Why?
Because
we know
you catch me off guard each time.
Yeah, you're a chef.
Oh, gosh. What am I a chef for?
You know.
I mean, you keep saying stuff like that, and then I don't know till,
and you don't
till
know.
I see it on the TV.
Mean, when you make a really amazing Dorito dish, it just blows us away. I mean, how do you do a Dorito dish?
So, first of all, you got to use paper plates. And that was one thing during COVID where we got paper plates, plastic, cutlery, because I'm cool like that. I say cutlery.
Cutlery.
You know? That lets everybody know.
That
lets everybody know, I know what I'm doing.
You've been to etiquette
I know
school.
what I'm doing. But we ran out of the shells, like the Dorito shells, because I have a 14-year-old son, so they were just gone. So I grabbed that bag, and look, I just put some meat on it. Then you put some cilantro, then some queso, then some pico. I mean, you want a fancy date night? There you go. Crush a bag of Doritos.
Plastic cutlery to spread the cheese around.
And you know what? You drop a fork, it don't matter. There's more in the box. They come with 700.
Not a problem.
700.
They got 700 in the box. It won't make for a great date night about 3 hours afterwards. So
no, that's a given.
I get that.
Then your tummy's
there's-
upset.
A little rumbly in the tumbler.
There's
rumbly in the tumbler.
smells. I get that because it happens. It
But
does.
I mean, I'm for this date night, making your own little tacos, and then mine and my wife's first date was frog gigging. So
Wait, what?
our first date, I took her out frog gigging,
And y'all been together 18 years?
and she's never been back.
I have a feeling some people don't even know what you just said and what it means.
That's where you go out in the middle of the night, shine a flashlight, see the frog, stab the frog, take the frog home, eat its legs.
Wow. Okay.
We do.
His email is rhettwalker@whatrocker.com.
Well, that's why I was
you
like,
just scared the kids.
I was like, yeah, I don't know.
You told me to say what it was, Dempsey.
And somebody listening just went, honey, we got a day night for you. Red Walker and frog
There's a
gigging.
husband out there that was like, babe, I've been frog gigging.
Did that all life.
Doing that this weekend.
Frozen pizza. Evidently, you are really into it.
Totino's party pizzas, and those are my favorite. And then Tombstone, number one.
So okay. So you have a top five. So I want to quiz you on your top five.
I probably
I don't
can't
know if
remember.
it's changed. So let's start with number five. What do you think your number five is on your list?
Maybe Costco pizza.
It is.
Wow.
Okay,
That was
okay.
number
So it
five.
hasn't moved
okay.
up the list. Okay,
No.
good to
Red
know.
It is a
Walker's
great pizza though.
Okay.
Frozen
Going tomorrow.
pizza countdown. The top five. Let's go to number four.
Man, I don't know what I said for number four.
It's a different state.
It's a different state.
Yeah. I thought that was a good hint.
know, I
Evidently,
was
that's
like,
not a good hint. California.
Oh, California Pizza Kitchen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Their Sicilian's really good.
That needs to go to number one.
Oh,
Red.
come on. Come on. It's not number one. It is a number four.
Whatever.
It's solid. It took me forever to learn what that word was.
Sicilian.
Yeah. Can I get that Sicilian?
Sicilian?
That Sicilian?
I love that Sicilian.
The what, sir?
You know, the
Good
one with the
pizza.
really big pepperonis.
Please don't go to Italy and ask
It's a
for that.
crispy, thin crust.
They
You know
just
what I'm
kicked me
talking
out of
about right
Italy.
there. Here's your sign. Okay, so what's number three?
Gosh, that one's hard. I don't know.
It's just that
number
middle
Red
of the
Baron.
road.
Red Baron.
Yeah.
Okay. I do have, I got to say, the Red Baron deep dish.
It's different.
Because it is different than the just normal big Red Baron. The deep dish, I'll never forget in high school burning the roof of my mouth on that thing. It was worth it, though. It was worth it. Number two would have to be Totino's party pizza. It bounces back. It and Tombstone bounces back and forth.
Really?
Between two and one.
Is it your mood?
I don't know. It's just like, maybe the mood. But you take that party pizza and put it with some Cholula and ranch, hands down,
Game over.
game over.
My family does that ranch thing with pizza. I don't get it.
The ranch thing with pizza? Who doesn't eat ranch with pizza?
You dip your pizza in ranch.
Yes.
Yeah.
You don't?
I don't.
No.
Not really.
My kids do. My wife
Yeah.
does. I've never done that.
All right.
oh
his
my
radio morning crew team, raise your hand. ranch with pizza?
Say it out loud.
No.
I have done it in the past.
Oh my gosh, he acts like it's a part of his testimony.
That is in my past.
That is Jake.
Back when I was backsliding, I used to dip my pizza in ranch. And before I was saved.
Oh, that is so great. All joy, no stress. What a song, man. This thing kicks.
Thank you. Man, honestly, me and my wife were talking. This came out of 2020. My grandpa used to say, "All gas, no brake," and that was like his saying, like, we're going, you can't stop us, you can't slow us down, all gas, no brake. And when we came out of 2020, I just felt like, man, I've got so much to make up for. So much time was taken. And I started doing the 18-year-old thing where I was like, I've only got my kids till they're 18. Like, where are they going to go? Mm-hmm. But I had that, and I was like, I've got so much time that was taken. And then me and my wife were talking. We're like, man, it's not all gas, no brake. Like, this time wasn't taken. And there was, like we were talking about earlier, there's so much more stuff that is going on in people's lives that you don't even think about. We get so selfish so quick. And I was like, I'm not going to run this life away. Like, I'm not just going to go and look back and it's all gone. I actually want to live all joy, no stress. And the sustainable kind of joy that's out there only comes from Jesus. And this world is looking for hope, and they're looking for peace, and they're looking for joy, and so many other things. And so I wrote this song hoping that it would be a reminder and point people back to it. Man, you want to live all joy, no stress? It's out there to live. But like I said, the sustainable kind only comes from God.
That's so good.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
Okay, now here he is. Come over here, Rhett. Oh, man. So, Jeff.
Traffic's bad.
The traffic's bad. Your personal assistant makes it before you. He said he was going to pick you up, and Rhett.
Yeah, but I didn't want him to have to come out there and pick me up when I could just meet him.
Yeah.
I got to drive to the show after this
So,
anyways.
what kind of pickup truck do you have?
It's just a Chevy Z71.
Okay.
It's nice.
You
It's nice.
valeted your pickup truck.
It's got 33s on it. I love it. It's
Look
fun.
at this.
But here's the thing. I didn't realize, like, the people working for March Madness were staying there. So I just come down the stairs, just happy-go-lucky, and there's a line. And I was like, oh, boy.
Of tall people?
Very tall people. And I looked up at them, and I said, is there any way that I can skip?
And? Were they nice?
No. They got stuff to go to. They were
Take
all
a
nice.
number, sir.
But they were like, no. So,
Rhett Walker with us this morning, his radio. He's in concert tonight, by the way, with Tasha Layton, Anderson Civic Center. You'll see all the info on the family calendar at hisradio.com. Dude, the bus.
oh, my gosh.
Good night.
happened?
Yeah, what's the story? Because I saw the Instagram post.
Well, Jeff is leaving.
You don't have to leave. Was he driving? Were you driving the bus?
He was going to sing for me. So, yeah, this was crazy. So we just heard it was going to be snow. And I was like, all right, Pennsylvania, they can handle snow. Like, it's not like it's shutting Atlanta down, I was like, they can handle snow. So we go up there, and we're driving what takes forever because we have to pull off the side of the road and wait it out to get up there because the wind's so bad. So we get all the way up there, and all of a sudden I hear our bus driver just go, oh, no, hold on. And we just started sliding. So we were coming over a hill. There was a wreck where people had hit ice. And when we come over the hill, especially with the weight in the trailer, there's no stopping. And so we hit about 4 or 5 cars. But in the middle of that, there was a person that they had to get the jaws of life to get out of there.
Oh, no.
The worst was a broken arm. That was it.
Real out of all that?
It was a 73 car pile up.
Dude.
And
73 cars.
yeah, we were there forever, and me and Tasha and Leanna and Peabody all got out, and like I kind of dadded everybody. I was like, listen, I don't know what we're going to see, like what we're going to walk up on, so, be on you. But we got up and went and kind of prayed with people and talked with people, and everybody was fine.
That's good.
Look at that.
God went before us for real.
Right?
And yeah.
I mean, you see some cars in the pictures that he posted. They're crunched up, man.
When we drove by,
Amazing.
I was like, there's no way. It was just a broke arm. And everybody stayed in high spirits. It was really, really crazy.
That's good.
I did tell my wife, I said, I'm going to quit writing songs like All Joy, No Stress because I'm tired of living.
Right? Yeah.
I'm just going to write the It's Easy Peasy. You know, that's what
Right? Yeah.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
It's amazing the things that Rhett Walker does. I mean, even commercial endorsements. I mean, how'd you land this commercial endorsement that you're doing right now?
Which one?
How many do you
I
have?
gotta
I'm
go
scared
look.
now.
How many do you have?
A lot.
A
Got
lot?
yeah.
Okay, well, this is the one in particular that comes out and stands out for me.
Are you tired of having to run to a bunch of different locations to get fuel, bacon grease, and a crawdad washer? Well, Georgia, wish no more.
All my favorite things-
Buc-ee's, baby.
Buc-ee's.
All my favorite things can be found at Buc-ee's.
I have not been to a Buc-ee's yet.
You will rededicate your life when you get there.
Will you?
Why is this such a big thing?
y'all
There's
been?
QT and what are those other
so
ones?
QT's great. There is some good gas stations. I don't know why I love gas stations so much, but my dad always stopped. Like every morning on the way to school, we'd get a Kit Kat and a Coke for breakfast.
That's
And
a good breakfast from a
breakfast right there.
daddy.
or a cosmic brownie. But man, you go to Buc-ee's, look, like they got towels, they got dish towels, they got all the things like Christian moms love that say stuff like
Live, laugh, love.
You know, live, laugh, love, be blessed. You know, beef jerky bar. They got a beef jerky bar.
Wait, really?
Yeah, all
There's a
kinds of beef
variety
jerky.
of beef jerky?
This place is about the size of Walmart. And their bathrooms are always clean. They got about like 30 stalls. Door goes ceiling to floor.
That's a good point.
Yep. So, and then on your way to the bathroom, they sell paintings. So you want to use the bathroom,
And then go think
but you want
about
to be
it.
surrounded by beautiful art. It's like an art gallery
In the restroom?
in the restroom.
But what is a crawdad washer? What is that? What?
Wait a minute. For
But whenever you grab crawdads, you throw them in the bucket and rinse them off.
Okay.
They have one with like little hoses, so you just plug it up and it kind of washes.
Buc-ee's? For
Yeah.
real?
Yeah, you can also buy a like 2-pound container of bacon grease.
This is amazing. Seriously, he does not get paid by Buc-ee's to
No,
do any of
no.
this
They don't.
stuff.
They
He's
don't.
just a super fan.
I'm just
Amazing.
Bacon grease. Wow.
We it's funny because I do feel like they stole it from us because when I used to work on the cat farm, I was like, man, if there was a one-stop gas station and they made it. Yeah, like I had this idea before they came up with it.
When he worked on a cat, I mean, seriously, listen.
I used to work on a cat farm.
So he worked on a cat farm thinking about Buc-ee's.
Yeah. It's my whole life.
They owe you some money.
Somebody owes me
Or some
money.
bacon
grease.
Or some bacon grease. I'll take it.
Okay.
Well, as you can tell, Rhett Walker is fun.
Yeah.
But you also love your family. And I love the fact that they travel with you a lot.
Yeah.
That's so
It's
cool.
fun. Yeah, it's getting harder now that I have 2 teens and 2 under 10. Our teens have their kind of life and they're running. But we've homeschooled like our entire, life. My wife actually homeschooled me when my senior year of high school. But she's homeschooled the kiddos, and it's so we can just pick up and go, So if there's a show, they always pick the fun shows.
Well, why wouldn't you?
Like they don't want to go out to the middle of nowhere, but like we went and played Rock the Universe in Florida at Universal Studios.
Dude.
I had so many kids and teens in that bus. There was kids like laying in the back lounge. Everybody's
They
like,
brought all their friends.
they're like, we've always wanted to go to a Rhett Walker show. I'm like, no, you want to go ride rides is what you want. And I
Yeah.
don't blame you. So, but they'll be with me tonight in Anderson. So I'm
Oh,
looking
that's
forward to it.
good. I love this.
Ever get dicey with the teenagers in the bus?
Oh,
you
God.
know.
Yeah, they're loud too.
Drama.
Yeah. Oh, drama? I'm not allowed to say the word dramatic.
Oh, you're
I
not.
learned that the hard way. I said it one time, and I thought like April and my 17-year-old daughter Riley was going to kill me.
Oh no.
So, because one time my daughter, she'll come home from Sonic, hanging with her friends, and be like, "Oh my, you wouldn't believe who showed up at Sonic." And I'm like, "Yeah." And she was like, and they pulled up in their loud truck. And guess what they did after that? They stepped out, and then they inhaled, and then they exhaled. And I'm like,
play-by-play.
Yeah, I'm like, get to the point, Spielberg. Like, do I need to call the law? Are we good? Are we safe?
I'm just telling you, Daddy.
Yeah, and my wife, she loves it. She'll jump right in. And I'm like, one time I said, this sounds dramatic. And I learned quickly.
That word is
I
X'd from the
excused
handle.
myself and went downstairs.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
I love that you love your family. So much so that I heard that you wrote a song about your kids or for your kids?
Yeah. So I wrote a few now. Oh my gosh, yeah. So I wrote Like Your Father Does, and so I travel a lot. I've had to miss a lot of things, and there's certain things that when you're in ministry, you just don't get to do. Like I don't get to coach my kids' teams and all that. And so I was sitting talking with my buddy one day, and I was like, man. Ministry starts at the house. Like, I love these people that are coming tonight to the show, but they ain't ever going to be as cool as my wife and my kids. And I don't want to go out and tell them, like, about Jesus and ain't even preaching that at my house. And so part of that is I'm not going to always be here to hear, your stories or to help you, but let me point you to the one who will. And so that song it's Ain't Nobody Gonna Love You Like Your Father Does, which I don't know if it's grammatically correct. My wife homeschooled me my senior year, so she didn't tell me that part. But when we played Universal Studios, my oldest daughter came out and sang the song with me.
Here's a little bit of it. Listen to this. Okay, Rhett Walker singing with his daughter. What was that like for you?
Barely made it through it.
I imagine, right?
Yeah. And, it's just this is a really sweet season for us. We are a teenage pregnancy story. Me and my wife, we've been together for 18 years. We got married when we were 17. So we will have been together longer than we were apart. My daughter's the age I was when I had her, when it was like, I don't know what's going to happen in this life. I don't know nothing about being a daddy, about being married, where babies having babies. But I get to travel around now and tell this story about the goodness of God. And our story has nothing to do with Rhett and April. This is just a story about the goodness of God. When it all hits the fan and you think, this is it. Like, how do I get out of this? Like, what's happening? He's always went before me and always just been good. Like, even when it was scary, it didn't feel like it. And so we kind of get to celebrate that now. And God just keeps showing up. It's like
always there.
My daughter getting to sing that with me. She's going to sing with me tonight in Anderson.
You're kidding. No way.
Yeah,
that's so good.
But she's not singing one of my songs. So we're singing a cover tonight, which is going to be cool. But
surprise?
Yes, a surprise.
Okay.
Gotta be there to see it.
Yeah, but it's just a sweet season, and then we have 17 down to 3. So and he's in the 99th percentile of everything. He's like the size of a 5-year-old. I mean, my youngest is 9, my youngest daughter, and he's 3.
Your baby boy is tall.
He's a big old boy.
He's ready to go.
But still the mind of a 3-year-old, so he will run through drywall. Like, that kid is just...
But that's always the baby. You know that, right?
And who knows? He might take over this family business.
I used to work on a cat farm.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
Listen, I hear you're a dancer.
Oh, gosh.
We have to see the
real.
moves.
I don't know who told you that.
Well, I mean, when I see that you're decked out in a Spider-Man outfit, and you're
With a
dancing in
cowboy
a
hat.
cowboy hat on, I mean, first I had no idea you had Spider-Man skills.
Well,
But then to have the moves.
yeah, I am actually Spider-Man.
And are those chacos you're
Those
wearing?
are. Yeah.
Oh, my
that's
goodness.
That's summer Spidey. He's ready to go hang out at the pool. Got the towel.
Got the cowboy hat, or is that like the sun hat outside
That's
for
my
the pool?
sun hat on that one.
That's amazing.
Trying
What
to
was
learn the moves
the inspiration of this whole thing? Well, I mean, why?
Because TikTok exists.
That's it.
That's it.
Just because it's there.
Yeah. I mean, that's honestly it.
Because TikTok exists.
I would say people wanted to see this.
Yeah.
And should see this.
I don't know. I mean, we do have a TikTok dance now for All Joy No Stress. There is a TikTok
For
dance.
real?
Okay, you're going to have to break
How
it
does
out
it
for
even
us.
go?
My daughter came up with it, and it took me forever to get it. I mean, it's like a 10-second thing, but my wife was like, why do you look like that when you do the dance? She was like, free yourself up some. You look so stiff.
Are you doing the overbite thing?
No.
Okay.
No, I ain't doing that. I just look like I'm thinking about the dance, but,
If you can't tell, Rhett Walker is from the South.
I
Can't tell.
I thought it was Wisconsin.
Like North Augusta area, right?
Yeah, originally from Shelby.
Okay.
And then my dad's pastor, and so we moved out to the Augusta area.
What was it like growing up on a farm?
I didn't grow up on a farm.
You didn't?
No. Well, I mean, I kind of did, but
You did.
I grew up on, it wasn't a farm as in we didn't have horses, but we had land, and our land actually backed up to a horse farm.
I have you saying you worked on a farm.
That was my first job.
On a farm?
But it wasn't my farm.
It wasn't.
No, and I hated every minute of it.
I
But
could
it was
imagine.
the best thing that has ever happened. I tried to quit every day.
This is Rhett Walker talking about working on a farm.
I used to work on a cat farm.
On a cat farm.
Uh,
So that was a cat farm? That was your
do
first
that?
job? That was...
No, that was just my ministry. So,
Cat herding
yeah, cat herding.
is your ministry.
Cat herding?
Yeah, so here's the deal. Cats get loose quickly. You know, they're little tigers. And so it was my job to herd them. And so I would herd up. We had a cat farm about 20,000 cats deep. And I fed each one, I bottle fed each one every night.
That's so nice.
I'm like,
And I prayed for
do
'em.
I believe this? Did you
And
tuck them in?
I did. And like Chick-fil-A, I would say, my pleasure.
For real.
Yeah.
You milk them?
Yeah, and I would say I would yeah, and they would all sleep in my bed. 20,000.
Yeah. That's what it's like. Because
My
Rhett
allergies
Walker,
were always bad.
as you can hear,
I used to work on a cat farm.
worked on a cat farm.
Y'all are killing me.
That's quite amazing.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
Okay. I think Mrs. Parker is like the coolest teacher around. She's in Durham at the Lakewood Elementary School. And she closes every class by saying this, and I love this. She tells every student she loves them. Every student. It's Rob and Liz, his morning crew on his radio. So she had this heart to do something as the winter break was approaching. And when the kids are out of school during winter break, she's very aware that at her school, there's going to be a lot of kids that won't be able to eat because they come to the programs in the morning to eat. So she decided, I'm going to raise a little bit of money. And with this little bit of money, I'm going to try to feed as many kids as I can. Well, she did pretty good because she was able to put together 5,200 bags full of food for 12 different schools. She raised $100,000.
It's wild how she was able to do this. You know what spurred it on? She had a conversation with one of her students' parents, and the mom said something to the effect right before winter break of, you know, I can go without eating, but my kids are going to go 2 weeks, possibly, without having something substantial to eat. And I think like most of us, we're going about our day and our schedule and our routine, and sometimes you don't think about, oh, wait a minute. If you get free and reduced lunch sometimes during that 2 weeks, during a summer break, then where
There's
are you
nothing.
eating?
Yeah,
Right.
there's nothing. So I love how she started because this started a couple of years ago. And she started her very first year. She raised $500. That took care of some kids. That was amazing. And then the year after that, it went to, remember, first year is $500. The second year, $55,000. And then over $100,000 this year.
Quite an increase.
Hello.
What's she going to do this coming year?
I know. If she keeps doubling, well, she didn't double the first time, but
Oh,
she
the-
doubled from last year to this year. So it'll be over $200,000 next year.
So kids in 12 schools, 8, during that winter break, how many can it go up to middle school, then take care of high school? I mean, I'm sure that's
You know
her
what?
end goal.
Mrs. Parker, I think you're going to feed all of America by the time you're done.
That would be amazing.
You know,
It
I mean,
really
she started something. It's catching on.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
Skinny Vic's is a diner and a coffee shop. They do the smoothies, they do, all this. And for the last couple of years, just like everybody else, they have been dealing with a shortage of workers and supply chain issues, like all this stuff that we know is happening kind of everywhere in the world, right? And so some of the customers were getting a little upset with the staff because it was taking a little longer because they're all kind of pitching in to try to cover some of the holes. And so some of the customers were getting even a little more upset, snippy, sarcastic, being rude.
Well, how'd they handle it?
They said, you know what? We're just going to shut the doors for today. They did.
For a day?
For a day because they needed to kind of regroup.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. They needed to just say, look, we need to take care of our employees because their mental health is more important than, that bottom line. And she said, it's not that I don't want to be there for my customers, when you want a smoothie, when you want coffee or breakfast or whatever, but we just can't allow our employees to undergo this mistreatment anymore.
I hope they went and played somewhere.
I think they all kind of maybe met up at one point and did some fun stuff, and then they were, able to go off with their families and really be able to connect in that way. 'Cause sometimes things happen and you just can't seem to get out of it. You need to take a mental day.
And I don't know why people react like that. And I try to check myself. I hope that I don't do that in a stressful situation and treat somebody rude who's trying to serve me. There was a hurricane that came through. I can't remember the name of it, but we were in Fayetteville and we were, catching up with people to see what the need is and talking about on the radio several years ago. And we got flooded in. There was water on all sides. And so we're staying at this hotel. There is a Waffle House across the street, which was the only thing open. And so there's a ton of people at this Waffle House, 3 people working there.
Oh, wow.
And not everyone, but a lot of people were rude because they wanted to eat now. And it was a limited menu. And here they are serving and open, and these people would rather be home wondering if there was going to be a flooded home they're going to.
Yeah, they wanted to check on their own living room and their rugs and their family, but
we didn't have a lot of money, but we put the rest of our money down for a big tip for these people. It's like, thank you.
They're doing all they can.
I'm sorry. I don't care if it's going to be an hour. I am hungry. I do want to eat now, but
that waffle looks good.
I'm sorry these people are treating you like that. And Skinny Vicks, walking through what they just went through.
And I really do appreciate what the owners did for their employees because they did without money that day, without income. And they shut the doors and said, y'all take care of yourselves. We'll regroup. We'll be back tomorrow morning.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
Uh-oh, I'm in trouble. His morning crew with Rob and Liz, his radio.
I don't know. I think I'm in trouble because now I started doing this and I had to. And I'll tell you why. So emojis. The land of emojis. You live emojis. If you don't use an emoji in a text, someone thinks you are mad. Liz Riles, for one. Oh.
It's the truth.
And so now I'm conditioned to use emojis.
Lots of emojis.
And I'm reading, if you use emojis in the work environment, that's not good. As a matter of fact, if you're trying to get like a client or something and you start using emojis, it makes you look what they say. And this is what they say. This is not me saying this. They say you are less powerful in appearance.
I'm okay with that. Honestly, I like an emoji because I like to know if I read a text, if I read an email, I have a tendency to read it harshly.
She does. Seriously.
Interpret it
She'll
harshly.
read it to me. Listen, she'll read an email to me or a text, and she puts attitude in it like the person is angry. Why? There's no emoji.
There's no...
And so she's reading. I'm like, that's not what they're saying. And then I'll read it with a nice, calm voice, and it sounds completely different than the way Mama Liz will read it to you. It's crazy.
Super sensitive, and I don't know why, but when I have an emoji to go... Emoji?
I thought you were going to say a movement. That's a totally different thing.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
Professor George, she is a pretty cool professor, works at Wake Forest University of Law. She gave a homework assignment. And, most of the kids, I know when I was in school and I would get a homework assignment, it's like, oh.
Notice how she called college students kids.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
But should I not go look?
They're not kids.
Why?
Kids are elementary.
I don't see it that way.
These are students.
Okay, they're sorry.
Yes,
students.
college students in the university.
Well, they were given a very fun homework assignment. What Professor George said is for homework today, you just go home, you take a picture of your dog or your pet doing your homework.
Doing the homework?
Doing the homework. Not just eating the homework or anything, but actually doing the homework. And so you have a terrier that's sitting in and almost it looks like an office chair on a pillow reading a book. You've got one dog at a computer. He's wearing glasses.
No way.
And it looks like He's looking over the top of the glasses, which makes it even better.
Pause on the keyboard.
Yes, like he's
Okay.
typing. There's a pug that is, nose deep in the notebook going through it. And it just, she wanted to spread a little joy. And that's kind of cool.
So these students in college took their assignment pretty seriously and posed their dogs as if they're doing the homework.
Right.
That's cool.
And I can imagine, I don't know this for sure, but I can imagine if you took a picture of your pet doing your homework or sitting in front of the computer, you got an A. So that was an easy A, possibly, for the students.
She's showing some of these pictures. They are amazing. Tell you what, we're going to post them for you at hisradio.com, Apple TV, and Roku. When you download His Radio TV, we'll have it there on demand. You'll see. I mean, these are funny.
One of my favorites is the cat. The cat is in the book, kind of like I remember doing as a kid when I was in school, elementary school, laying on the floor, reading a book, arms crossed. I mean, the cat looks like he's actually reading this book.
It does.
He's my favorite.
That's funny.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
Paul flew into Miami to officiate a friend's wedding, which was so
that's
great.
cool.
It was a great day. It was so long. He didn't get to his Airbnb until 2 a.m.
Oh, that's
So
a long
he's like,
day.
he's sleeping really hard. And he's like, I'm going to sleep in late. And then all of a sudden, some guy walks into his bedroom. His bedroom at the Airbnb. And the guy looks at him and says, this is not an Airbnb.
Oh,
Get out.
he didn't call the police?
No. So Paul's like,
Paul's very lucky.
wait a minute. So Paul goes in. I mean, the door's open. So he walks into that house and he goes to the bedroom that has its own bathroom, its own ensuite. Everything's, kept up nice. The bed was made. There are clean towels in the bedroom. He falls asleep at 2 a.m. Turns out the Airbnb was next door. He just went into some dude's house and went to their guest room and slept.
But think of all the things that had to come together. The door had to be open. It had to be really clean for him to think.
Yeah.
And they had to not be there that day.
The actual guy, look, seriously, this is the quote that he said when he opened up the door. Hey, can I help you? This is my house.
Can I help you? Would you say that to somebody that's sleeping in your bed? Can I help you?
This is not an Airbnb.
I would have walked in and just been like,
Oh, man. I've never made that kind of mistake.
No.
I've gone into the wrong hotel room once.
oh my goodness.
Yeah, I went for this run one day. And it was when Kristen was doing his morning crew with us years ago. We would go out and do week-long, we tour around to all the different cities, all the different hotels. I went for a run and I came back and my hotel key was not working in my room. So I went down and I said, listen, my hotel key's not working. I'm in room such and such. And they said, okay, sir. They gave me a key to that room.
Didn't
and
check
so
your ID.
I went into the room and then I took a shower to clean up. And then when I came out to open up my suitcase, it was not my suitcase. It was some frilly suitcase. I'm like, oh, no, I'm in the wrong room. That happened.
Goodness.
I just forgot what room number that I was in.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
I've never heard of Duolingo. Am I going to say this right? I'm going to butcher it.
Duolingo.
That's it.
Yeah.
Duolingo. It's an app to learn other languages, which I need to get it because I have to learn a little bit of French before the summer gets here. I have a once-in-a-lifetime trip ever. Never been overseas. So, of course, we're going to France.
Oui.
So, and then I'm hearing about this because I just saw some info that so many people are now using it to learn Ukrainian because of what's going on right now.
Здравствуйте.
Yeah, sure.
That means hello in Ukrainian. And
How do you say it? Frost?
Здравствуйте. And I hope I'm saying it correctly.
I do too.
Oh, yeah, I do.
That's good.
Oh, yeah.
That's good. And they say that the app has increased by 485%.
Isn't that wild that we want to We want to learn how to communicate.
Right.
Because, maybe possibly as Ukrainians leave their country right now, at least hopefully temporarily, and they'll be able to go home soon, that they may be coming to this country or wherever they're fleeing to, we need to know how to communicate.
So what they're doing now, Duolingo, did I say it right? Mm-hmm. Duolingo, they've partnered with another scholarship kind of program because there are Ukrainian students that want to learn English so that they can pass tests to go to universities, that are English. And so I guess there's some kind of fee. They're saying that we're going to waive the fee for Ukrainian students to learn English.
That's just one of those things. If it's in your control, your wheelhouse to be able to help people like that, then they're doing all they can. And we're seeing this from so many people. There's kids that are raising money for Ukraine by, having a lemonade stand. That's in their wheelhouse. That's something they can do. And then this company is, waiving the fees for them to be able to learn.
Everybody working so hard for the whole thing that's going on over there. Thank you for praying with His Radio.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
Miriam is along with us this morning at 800-447-7234. Miriam, what's going on?
You were talking about that Duolingo, doing what you could to help out. And our church, every first Sunday of every month, takes 10% of what they gave what was given in the previous month's tithes and offerings, and they sow it into the community ministries. But this last Sunday, they decided to send it to a pastor who's helping out in Ukraine. So the church tithed $6,225 to Ukraine, and then after the first service, somebody in the congregation came up and said, I've been sitting on some money that I didn't know what to do with, and I'm going to match your gift. So they were able to send $12,500 over to a pastor who's helping the refugees coming out of Ukraine. And I just want to brag on how good God is.
Yeah, right. Miriam, that's amazing to hear that. $6,000 first, and then this person matches it. Mm-hmm. To help out the people who have fled the Ukraine?
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's so good.
I always go back to what our pastor says, a good friend of ours that says, a need known is an opportunity given. And that's what that church did. They knew the need, and they said, this is our opportunity to do good in the world and show the love of Jesus all around the world.
That's a good thing. Miriam, please pass our love on to your church for doing what they did. That's amazing. And we're praying for everything that's going on right now.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
You get to pick the way you want this done, your vacation, and it's paid for up to $3,000. And here's the thing, when you win, it's called Vacay Your Way, by the way, on His Radio. When you win Vacay Your Way, you'll get a travel agent that'll book all the stuff for you. Vacay Your Way. It's our first day giveaway for Friendraiser on His Radio.
Yeah, that is so good to have a travel agent take care of all that. I try to book things for me and my husband, to go. I always pick the worst hotel, the worst cabin. I don't know what it is. I don't know.
And that's why her husband does all the booking now.
He really does. He can navigate through that. But a travel agent who knows the ins and outs, that is amazing.
It won't be her husband, Joey. Don't worry.
No, he would say absolutely not.
He's like, I got my own job.
Exactly. But Vacation could be yours. It's Vacay Your Way. You like that, didn't you? I see your face.
Vacation.
Uh-huh.
Oh, man.
So it is part of our
you want to go to Louisiana? That's great.
You know what? That does sound like it's from Louisiana.
Little Cajun.
Yeah, but you don't have to go there. But that would be fun.
What's that? Go to Louisiana?
Yeah.
I saw a car wash in Louisiana. One of those do-it-yourself car washes.
Yeah.
Louisiana. It's called Bayou Self.
Okay.
Seriously.
I like that.
Bayou. You know the Bayou? Yeah. Bayou Self car wash.
That is pretty cool.
So Vacay Your Way. You could win it. You could pre-register. So if you give a gift today, you're automatically registered for Vacay Your Way because that's going to go toward Friendraiser that begins on April the 5th. Only a couple of weeks away.
Yeah, and you can get in on it right now. You don't have to wait until April 5th. If you want to go ahead, you can text the word GIVE to 800-447-7234. Always go online, hisradio.com or the My His Radio app.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
I led worship last night. And when I know it was Thursday night last night because every time I said I led worship, and they're like, "It was Thursday."
Why are you going on Thursday?
It's Thursday. This lady came up to me and said, "You're that guy at that radio station, right? Your name's Rob?" I said, "Yeah." She was explaining to me how the station was helping her during the time when her husband passed away.
Oh, wow.
It was just so horrible. And how every song, words that were said. One gentleman came up to me last night and said, the prayer line is just so amazing for me. Because he goes through some stuff and he says, all I do is pick up the phone. And let me tell you, this one lady that prays for me when I call, she's got some fire. That's what he looked at me and she got some fire. Which I was just like, I walked away so blessed and feeling just so wonderful knowing that was not about a radio station, but that was about people like you who mobilized this to happen. And the difference that you make with a gift of support is just amazing. So I came in this morning just very grateful for the work that you do to give to this listener-supported radio station so that a widow can just have a little bit of joy when she listens. And a guy who goes through a rough spot can pick up the phone and call a prayer line.
Right. I mean, take ownership of it because when you give your gift, I mean, that you're in it as well. I mean, you're making that prayer line happen. You're making these songs happen. And that's just incredible. You can be part of that. We have a fundraiser. It's our spring fundraiser that's going to be kicking off on April 5th. But you don't have to wait. You can just go ahead and get involved right now with your gift of support. It's online.
Please.
Yeah, hisradio.com, My His Radio app. You can even text a word.
Yeah, text GIVE to 800-447-7234. The words GIVE. Don't do an emoji or the stuff won't get to you.